Within the UpperBee portal, there are many ways that co-owners and administrators and managers can communicate with one another. The principal way for a co-owner to communicate with their board or their management company is to submit a service request. And so this is what we're going to see today, how to submit a service request. So when a co-owner logs in, the first thing that you're going to see is all of the widgets, and the one that we'll focus on is messages and requests, which is where all the options for messages and requests will be gathered. Among the options, the first one you'll see is a frequently asked questions. So the administrators or the management company can build a FAQ for the syndicate, which will contain many answers to the most commonly asked questions of the co-owners. So we strongly suggest to consult that category first in order to make sure that your question does not figure in the FAQ section before you send the service request. Plus, it can be a great way to know, find the answer that you're looking for. There are several types of requests that are included within the portal. It is important to select the right type of request for the type of demand that you want to do because certain types of service requests are assigned to certain people, especially within a management company. So being able to submit the right type of request will ensure that the request goes to the right person and therefore is treated in a more efficient way. Also, the types of requests that are available for a syndicate will vary depending on what is applicable to the syndicate itself. But today we're going to see all of those that should be available to the co-owners in a scenario where they're all available. The first one is request magnetic chips or keys is for all the requests regarding access to the building with an electronic device. It can be a fob or a garage remote, so those can be ordered or replaced or signal as lost through those types of requests. Change of the intercom, so if the building has an intercom, it is possible to request changes or addition to the intercom through a service request, whether it is to change the name that is displayed on the intercom or to link a new phone number to the intercom itself. If the syndicate has equipment or rooms that it can rent to its co-owners, it is possible to make that reservation through a service request. First, the management company or the administrators will have to create a reservation calendar for said equipment or room, but once it is done, it is possible for the co-owners to make the reservations that way. It can happen that certain syndicate will require that co-owners submit a request when they want to make renovations in their condo, and when that's the case, the request can be submitted through UpperBee in order to make sure that it's approved by the board members. Signal a problem or ask a question is the most general category. So if none of those categories fit, you can always go there, signal a problem or ask a question, and you can submit a service request through 3 categories. The first one being operational, financial, or administrative. Make sure that you read the types of requests that are treated in each category before you choose the right one. And then we have report a violation to the building's regulations. So if you see something that goes against the rules of the syndicate and you want to report it, it is possible to send the report through a service request. When you submit a service request, many information can be required. So we'll see first the change to the intercom, which is one of those that requires the most information. The information that is required in each service request can vary depending on the type of request. In the case of the intercom, you have to specify the reason, which condo you want the change to be applied to, the phone number you use, the new name on the intercom, and the intercom code. But in several cases, the information will vary, or it could only be this section here that will appear, which is the problem description, question or request, and also the possibility to add attachments to the service request. Once the request is filled, you can then click on Submit, and the service request will be assigned to the person in charge of those type of dossier in your syndicate of co-ownership. When you receive a reply to a service request, there are two ways to consult those replies. The first one is you're going to receive an email with the reply of the administrator or the management company. But also, it is possible to follow up on a service request through the app. Still, in the messages and requests section, all you have to do is click on view, and from there you will see all the service requests that you submitted, and you will be able to consult them by clicking on the icon open on the right, or by clicking on the number of the request. And so in here you will see all the details regarding the service request, and you can also add new notes to the service request in this section here, and also add attachments if need be. All the answers and notes will be gathered in the section at the bottom, so you will be able to consult the history of all the notes and answers that were given for a specific service request. While the service request is the most common way for a co-owner to communicate with the administrators or the management company, it can happen that they send a message through the app. In such cases, once again, there are two ways you can consult those messages. The first one being through your email address, and the second one will be in the app. Still, in the messages and request sections, you will be able to see all the messages that you received under the category Received Messages. And so within the app, all the messages that you receive will be gathered there. Within every message that is sent through UpperBee, there is a receipt confirmation that is attached to the message. So when you read it in your inbox, it will be marked as read in the app as well. So by default, what it's going to show you is all the messages that you didn't read yet. And so you will be able to consult them and then see what the message is about. If you want to see all the messages, all you have to do is just deactivate the not read button, and you will be able to see all the messages that were sent to you through UpperBee through the years. If you're looking for a specific message, you can use the search tools to enter the subject, content, sender, or recipient, or you can choose a time period in which that message could be. So for example, if you're looking for a message that was sent between January 1st and January 15th, all you would have to do is put those dates from and to here, and only the messages that were sent within that period would be displayed in the research. And so this is how you can submit a service request and consult the messages that are being sent to you by your administrators or board of directors. Again, the best way to ensure that your request is treated in a timely manner is to ensure that you choose the right type of request to make sure that it is assigned to the right person within the management team of your syndicate.